Hey, what's up, you guys? So I wanted to bring my Commando build, and I know with the new perk cards going out right now, making a build could be really freaking hard. So it took me 3 days to or 2 days, I don't know, whenever the update came out until now, working with this build. So you guys don't have to. So this is a Commando rifleman build. It works with either Commando guns or rifle guns. You just need to switch out Commando to rifle, but everything else should be the same. And this would work with bloodied builds or full health builds. So it don't matter what it is, and I'll tell you what you need to do to make it. I'm using bloodied build right now, or unyielding, and I'll show you what you have to do to be full health and overeaters. So the only thing to be full health and overeaters is the armor difference. So I have unyielding AP food drink chem weight. You would just have to add overeaters, and that pretty much makes you full build. There's two perk cards that you do have to remove, and I'll tell you what those two perk cards are when we get to there. There's a couple of things you do have to run. You do have to run a commando gun, like I said, or a rifleman. And this weapon you run, it has to be Furious. And Furious back in the day used to be each hit gives you more damage throughout the hits. So now they changed it to onslaugh. So 5 damage per onslaught and a max of 9 max stacks pretty much. So if you have 9 onslaught, I'll show you what it is. In the bottom right, it says I have 27 onslaught. So if you have anything over 9, you get the full benefit of having the Furious, the 5 damage per onslaught stack. So that's what you need. I do recommend you running this gun exactly how I run it. Furious, 50 critical, less fast cost, and pinpointers. You can run conductors because there is a AP bug, but there's not enough ammo in Fixer for conductors to be viable or usable. So if you run conductors, make sure your gun has a lot of ammo for it to even matter. If you run a Fixer, you don't need conductors. And then the armor type, you do need to run this actual armor type. It's a civil engineer. And the reason you want to run civil engineer, there's 3 reasons. First of all, you get a benefit that gives you whenever a bug hits you or any melee person attacks you, you get 150 damage to that melee attacker. So that should be enough damage to kill anything that smacks you. Let's say you're doing an event, you're doing whatever, and you're looking at your Pip-Boy. While you're doing that, sometimes you do get hit, and with this, you'll kill them and you won't die. So that's the reason you want to run that. And then also civil engineer, if you didn't know, it comes with a built-in gunsmith. So gunsmith is your weapons break slower. So if you run this actual armor, you don't need to run gunsmith. It has it's less percentage, just 35% breaks lower, but it's for free, so you don't need a perk card, so you save on there. And another thing, civil engineer is the only armor that you can put a jetpack on that's droppable. So if you know anybody who is high level in the game, they can make you this armor and drop it for you. Not like Secret Service, like you can make Secret Service and you can have a jetpack, but you can't drop it for people. So that's why you want civil engineer. Those 3 reasons. So that's mainly what you need to run this build. Gear and weapon wise, like I said, it could be any weapon. It just has to have Furious, and it could be you do need food drink chem just to run my build exactly. Most people won't run weapon weight reduction. I don't know why. Like for the most part, everybody uses the same 2-3 weapons. So I don't know why people run it. I recommend running food drink chem. It removes 4 perk points from your build. And if you run a weapon weight reduction, I'll show you how to make this build work with weapon weight reduction. So here are some highlights to the build. As you can see, my carry weight's in the bottom. It says 304 out of 602. So if you need carry weight, this is really good for carry weight. Another thing is you can see a little bit left. It says my caps, and then it says damage resistance. So you get about 600 damage resistance and 700 energy resistance, and also 300 and almost 350 rad resistance. And this is all without having any food buffs, any magazines, any bobbleheads, any of that. Yes, it could be way more if you use those. I'm not going to show you which ones to use, because that's a whole other video. That's like there's so much stuff you could add. And I hate when people make a build and they're like, look at my build, this and that and that. Yeah, it does a lot of damage, but it's because they're using so many buffs. This is raw damage from the actual build, or raw defense, or raw carry weight, just from the actual build. And I will show you that I'm not running any, I don't think I'm running any foods. Oh, I am running smoked mylar fillet, so that's extra 60 carry weight. So I did lie about saying I'm not running any foods. You do get 60 extra carry weight for having um, the fillets. But I'm not running any damage boost and energy resistance. It would stack up right there, the same place where it says smoked Murloc fillets. So I did lie on the carry weight a little bit, but I'm not lying on the defense. Like, defense is really good. Okay, so we'll start off with the serums since we're already here. So the serums, it's adrenaline reaction, bird bones, carnivore. You can't change that out for herbivore. So you could do more damage with the food buffs, but you don't like I said, I don't like running food buff for the most part. I just hate having like I forget to eat them pretty much. So that's why I run herbivore. I mean carnivore, just because it gives you this build is it's like endurance. Endurance is a new wave right now. So carnivore, there's better endurance buffs with carnivore than there is herbivore. There is some on herbivore, but they're a little bit harder to make. On carnivore, they're super easy. Eagle Eye, Electrically Charged, Grounded, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, Scaly Skins, and Speed Demon. So those are all of them. You could stop the video and see what the benefits are. For the most part, everybody should know most of these. One I know people don't run, like it's called Grounded, as you can see right there. It gives you 100 energy resistance, but if you run an energy gun, it's -13 energy damage. So if you're running energy guns, this build won't work for you. Energy is a whole other thing. This is mainly for like ballistic guns. Um, so you might not want to run grounded if you're running energy, but at the same time, this build ain't meant for energy. It's meant for ballistic damage. Okay, and then so now we'll go to the perk parts. So I'm gonna show you what you really need. Like if you don't care about me talking, you could just screenshot the video. So screenshot the clip. I'm gonna go to Nerd Rage over here, screenshot it, and then just copy it as it is. And if you want more of a breakdown and why I run what I run, stick around. Strong back, it's a really good one if you have strength right now. This one's not needed though, so I'm gonna show you what's not needed and what I recommend. So arms keeper and strong back are not needed for this build. These are just extra things I like for my personal self. Strong back just so you could carry more weight, and then arms keeper just in case whenever I'm doing stuff. I mean, I have 600 pounds of carry weight. I don't really need arms keeper. It's just whenever I like do raids or whatever, I just hate scrapping, and that would make everything way less. So that's why I have that. Bandolier is really good. I mean, Barbarian, especially how they made it now. It makes it gives you I think like 70 extra damage resistance, so that's really good. Everybody knows what Bandolier is. Blocker, you guys should know what that is. It's really good mainly for bloodies. If you get bashed by any monster, you pretty much don't go down running this perk card, so that's what Blocker does. Master Commando, Expert Commando, and Commando. Everybody should know what those are. And Tank Killer, everybody should know what that is. Concentrated got a different buff. It's you don't need it anymore for it to focus on heads or legs or whatever you're focusing on. I still run it though because I prefer having more damage than not. So I want to just kill everything in one shot over just shooting them forever. So that's a new perk card, and I do recommend running the 3-star. If you can only run a 1-star, start off with a 1 and then go to 3. Um, Ironclad is really good. They really changed it, so it's giving you 50% more protection. So that's really good. Iron Stomach, everybody knows that, natural. Like most people should know these. The ones people might not run is Fireproof and Solar Panel. So Solar Panel, it gives you extra strength and extra endurance, and then there's perk cards that be like you get more benefit if you have more endurance. So that's the reason I run that one. And then Fireproof is mainly for when I'm doing like Earls or I'm in a silo. Like whenever you're in a silo and you're on the computer or whatever, like you usually get burnt and then you die. So that helps you with that. And this also helps you with the queen whenever you're fighting the queen and she throws like little air bursts at you. That's what I have it for. And then also Earl. When you're in Earl and the little fire thing comes from the roof, you could just stand directly under it and nothing would happen to you. That's why I run that, and most people might not run it. But that's why I run it. So all of these are definitely recommended. You can live without, I guess, Fireproof if you're not doing like the big boy stuff, if you're just playing the game averagely. You can live without that, but everything else I definitely do recommend. Everything in here I do recommend. So this is Charisma. They did change Inspirational, so it's under Charisma now. So I did have to add more perk cards to Charisma so I could get more XP. But as you can see, I have 4 intelligence, so I really don't care about XP. But yeah. So inspirational, you know what that is. It should move to charisma. So bodyguard, damage, gain damage and energy resistance based on your charisma. So the more charisma you have, the more these perk cards work. And all of these perk cards are like that. They're like this, that, because of charisma. So I had to add a bunch of charisma just to make these perk cards viable. You can live without a spiritual healer. That one's kind of mid, and you can live without magnetic magnetic personality. But I do recommend everything else. So bodyguard, it gives you damage and energy resistance. This one's really good for each teammate you have. You get 2 more charisma, so 2 more charisma for teammates. You could have up to 8 extra charisma just for having a full team. So that makes all these perk cards work even better. So that's why I run that one. Strange in numbers, you guys know what that is. Spiritual healer, not too many people might use this. I use it because I'm a bloody build, and it just keeps you alive a little bit longer. So it says regenerate your HP while on a team based on your charisma. So if you're on a team, you're always healing. So it's really good. And then tenderizer. Each attack makes your targets take increased damage. So if they hit you, you deal more damage. So that most people should know what that is. But in case you don't, there it is. And this is one of the perk cards you don't need if you're going to full health. If you're going to full health, you don't need Nerd Rage. It's when you're below 20% health, you gain 40 damage resistance and 20 damage and AP regen. Um, so you don't need that if you're full health, and you don't need Serendipity if you're full health. So if you're full health, take those 2 off. I recommend them if you're a new player. Like, these are like protections. Like, let's say you're going down and you're fighting a bunch of monsters. This is like an extra little boost of health whenever you're about to die. And same thing with Serendipity. As soon as you're like, they're killing you and stuff, these 2 are like little bulletproof vests that just kick in right before you die. They might like keep you alive. So I do recommend having them. But if you really don't need them, but yeah. First aid is a personal preference also. You really don't need this perk card. I have it because I don't want to die, and it just makes your instant packs restore more health based on your intelligence. So I don't have much intelligence, so it don't really work that good. But I just have it because I just like it. I don't know. It's really not needed. These 2 are really not needed. So we're going on to agility. These are the important ones. These are the new ones. Um, so I recommend everything on this build. I wish I could have more, but I can't have more. This is all we got. Like, if I could add more, I would definitely add Covert Op. So I could have more damage, and I could definitely use Adrenaline so I could have more damage. But the benefits of the onslaught, it bypasses these. But I mean, I really wish I could add them, but you can't. Um, so we'll start off with Gunslinger Master. So this one just gives you stacks for free. You don't have to do anything. It says gain onslaught stacks over time and spend them on attacks. So you get 10 onslaughts for free, like just for walking around. It just gives you 10 of them for free. So that's really good. And the more onslaughts you have, the more damage you do, and the more like certain things, like you could reload faster, you do more damage, and yeah. So, Gorilla Expert, you get 1% reload speed per onslaught, stack 3 max. So you only need 3 stacks of onslaught for this to work. So, if you have this up here alone without Furious, this kicks in, so you get faster reload speed. So that's really decent. It's only reload speed though, so it's really not needed. So this is one you can live without, I guess. Gorilla Mastery, plus 5 range damage to close enemies per onslaught, stack of max 5. So this one gives you 25% extra damage to ranged monsters. So this is a really good one. Pack Light. Your action points regenerate faster when not overcumbered. So this one, as long as you're not overweight, you should definitely be getting more AP. So it gives you, I think, 25% AP regen, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really decent. I used to run Action Girl, I mean. So this one gives you 45 AP regen, but it's a 3-star. So this is only a 1-star, and it gives you about half of that. So it's really decent. Evasion, everybody knows what that is. Evasive. This is a really good one. Master Sandman. Before it used to be only at nighttime. So at nighttime, your silent weapon would do more damage, but they moved it now. It says your silent weapons do additional 100% sneak damage, and it's not at night no more. So this is a really good one that people might be sleeping on. So I definitely do recommend this one. Like, it's it don't even say nighttime anymore, so it's really nice. Now, gun food, this one's really good also. It gives you 90% damage up to 3 targets. So if you kill 2 monsters and then the third monster takes 90% extra damage, this is a really good perk card. I love how they worded it now compared to what it was before. Bloody Mess, these are pretty simple. Everybody should have these from like their previous build. Bloody Mess, Better Critical, Serendipity, Ricochet, Class Rig, and Crit Savvy. So all of these help you for a crit build pretty much. And I passed over Cap Collector because Cap Collector is just a personal use that I use. You could definitely do if you're running around the world looting stuff. Um, I recommend Can Do. You find more canned goods based on your luck. So if you're looking little boxes, you have a better chance of finding canned coffee. Technically, because it is a canned food, I haven't used it, so I don't know if you can find canned coffee. But it says canned goods, so canned coffee is a canned good. And then so it's that one or creator or curator, however you say it. This one's for your magazines. The bobbleheads to last longer. You don't need this one all the time unless you're doing like XP stuff or you're fighting bosses. So I don't recommend ever having this on unless you're doing that, and then just take it off and then add something else. Um, there's another one. Junk Shield. Junk Shield, another one that's really good. You do have to have junk on you for it to work though. So you get 100 damage resistance if you have junk on you. I don't like carrying junk on me. I have fall off first, so I tend to always stick my junk in my junk box. Um, yeah, so if you don't have fall off first, this could be a really good one because you're never storing your junk and you're already walking with it. So that's a good one. So those are the 3 options I recommend you have if you're for your extra fee one. I use cap collector because I like caps. This is so good. If you don't know about cap collector, watch my past video on it. It's like a 1-minute video, and it's so worth it. Okay, so that's my perk build right there. Let me show you my legendary perk cards. So for the most part, I have nothing but perk points because we need so many perk points. I have luck, perception, agility, endurance, and charisma. So these are what I use. So get those. And then this one, most people might be like, what the heck? Um, but this is a commando build. You gotta think about it. It's a commando build. It's not a heavy gun build. It's not a chainsaw build. So for the most part, most people might be running. It's called tanking one for the team. Where did that? This one. Enemies take 40% more damage when they attack you if you're on a team. So being a commando build, you're not getting hit too often. You're staying back away from the fight, so you don't need this one. That's why I have follow through. You're always away from the battle, so your ranged sneak damage increased damage to targets by 40% for 10 seconds. So that's why you run that one, because you're never in the battle. And yeah, that's pretty much the build. So let me show you it in action. I'm gonna go and kill a couple of monsters, and you can see my onslaught points are 27. It's a bit overkill. Um, but it's nice. I like it. So everything should die within 1 or 2 tap, and this is you have to be more of a sneaking for it to do like its max damage, but you can, like you can see, you could just run around and kill stuff. So if you're sneaking, it should 1-tap anything if it actually registers. Okay, it wasn't registering that tap, so but as you can see, I 1-tapped that guy. I'm on PlayStation, so we are a little bit laggier over here. Boom. But it should 1-tap any super gun. If you're sneaking, if they see you, it don't do 1-tap. And those things are a little bit more powerful, so those are not 1-tap. But everything else should be 1-tap if you're sneaking. So yeah, that's me sneaking, and let me just start running around. Oh. And these, like I said, these things are a little bit more powerful. But yeah, that's pretty much the build right there. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys run it. It's really freaking awesome. It's I put in so much work to it, so you guys didn't have to. So yeah, hopefully you guys like it. Peace out, you guys. And also drop a follow, and also let me know what weapon or what builds you guys need me to work on. I'm working on melee right now, and heavy gun and crossbow. But if you guys prefer me to pump out a video before the other video, let me know. I really like crossbow, so that might be the next video. But I know people don't run crossbow. You guys might want melee, or you guys might want heavy gun. So whatever video you want me to make next, let me know, and I'll definitely work on that next.